And it's good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, and AMS Christie in the chat. It's been a main channel from Portimao with me, DCRS Rose, and I'm delighted. I don't do co-coms very often, but when I do, I pick icons and legends, and I'm delighted to be joined tonight by Aiden. Aiden, good evening.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh, it's going to be a fun one. It's already raining, so I'm excited.
It is. It is indeed. While we got this moment, I'll just bring up the lineups for this evening, and I think you'll agree with me that they are very, very stacked with talent here tonight. We've got Ronhar, Placky, John, Ads, Choco, and John B for FRA, and then we've got for QBR Star, Raptor, Moo Moo Milk, Sanchez, Naif, and Savoia. So two very, very stacked teams of talent, I would say, Aiden.
Yeah, man. I don't know if I feel like there's a few other people QBR could have picked over them, but there's still a very strong lineup, and obviously FRA, they look to be throwing the kitchen sink at this match. So it's going to be an interesting one for sure. To quote Lando 1033.
Lando is a god. Good evening, everyone in the chat. Bailey, Luke's in the chat from QBR. Smates is in there. DCRS God.
Mixture of both teams in there. So
yeah, it's good. It's really good, and that's I think that's the joy from these esports competitions is you don't only get the QBR boys, you don't only get the FRA boys. You know, you get the esports teams all having a good bit of banter and stuff. It really does make for a good stream. Much
nicer than on Twitter in the chat, that's for sure.
Yes, yeah, fully agree. So it is a bit soggy, as you can see. Still no cars out on track. There is one making its way down the pit lane. And that is QBR Star in the Alpine.
We've got Sanchez
intermediate tyres. So have you driven the wet in this one, Aiden?
Have I driven I think I might have, like, a couple months ago when the track first came out. It looks like a bit of fun in the wet around here. But I don't have, like, much things to say about the wet around here, apart from it's going to be very tricky, especially with turn 8 Samsung that we're about to see Star come up to now. It's definitely going to be a very tricky corner in the wet. Hopefully the race is dry though, so we get some crisp action and some mega DRS trains, I guess.
Indeed, and I've made a change up to the stream tonight. I bought a new mic, and I keep getting these issues where my mic glitches and it sounds like I've turned auto bass booster on. So I've gone to a wired tonight. I've run a very long cable through my flat. I've gone to a wired connection tonight. But as always, if you do hear them glitches, please shout up straight away in the chat, and I'll try and fix it.
I mean,
right away.
For certain in the pie it sounds alright, but we are about to have Star set the first lap, coming down towards the final corner at Galp, a long right-hander, flat in the dry, but not quite in the wet, about 50% throttle there Star uses, as he starts the first lap of the qualifying session on the intermediate tyres.
This is a very quick first couple of corners in the dry, isn't it? He just lifts to about 70% throttle. You can see through the telemetry there.
Better safe than sorry in these conditions, especially for the first laps. Hopefully the drivers have practiced the conditions, even if it's not wet in the race. Hopefully they've got a bit of practice so they don't spin instantly. I haven't seen a spin yet, looking at the map. But I was going to see how Star compares to Sanchez. I think he's up a little bit.
Yeah, you can see Star very, very cautious on the throttle for these banker laps. We'll try and get a weather report, and that's the one thing I keep on in the streams, Aiden, that we really need Codemasters to get a weather report for the spectators to aid us commentators, and I think that would be fantastic.
I mean, one thing they have done to aid us is they've actually synced the lights up to the server now, so we actually know what we're doing when it comes to the lights, which is a saviour.
Yeah, that momentary pause when you go 5 lights and it's
about 20 seconds and then they finally go. It's so annoying.
Yeah. So Star looks like he's just setting that little banker, and we'll see the times tumble as we go along. But he's just coming around the final couple of corners now. Turn 15 to be precise, and up over. And the time everyone's got a set is a 1:26.3.
And Sanchez out of Galp, turn 15. What's he going to set? 25.8. Okay, so instantly Stars Lap getting shattered. We got Moo Moo Milk about to cross the line. We had Nath cross the line set at 25.5, but here comes Moo Moo Milk straight into provisional pole with a 25.4. Both QBR looking very strong right now, but we haven't seen a lap time from the FRA boys yet. But we're about to.
No, and
as Ron Haar's about to cross the line on his first lap of the session.
Is the driver that people have come to see this evening.
26.1.
And he goes P4 with a 26.1. Yeah. Choco, 1:26.0.
So
and
currently,
a ripple off the track.
That's
John is right round, baby, right round there. And you just can't park gas there, unfortunately. So the first one, he's just pushed that a little bit too hard.
He's got to stay out the way of his teammate Ads as he comes across the line to start a lap. No, invalidated 27.3.
And I've just noticed FGE Jose in the chat. Good evening to you, Icon. Hope you're well.
Yeah, it's all good. We're all got the viewers rolling in. We got the drivers out on the track. It's going to be a good stream, I reckon. As J. John has recouped and he's went for another one up through Sector 1.
John B slots in P3 in the McLaren for 1:25.7.
And Sanchez instantly knocks out.
Placky is a strong driver, obviously formerly the AMS driver, moved over to FRA in the last few weeks, and another strong driver in the FRA ranks comes around turn 15. Moo Moo Milk. That's
Bit
a
of
good
slide
time.
on the exit. But he goes up into P8 with a 26.4, so FRA kind of struggling right now. QBR seems to have the ascendancy. But it's I would say it's tight, but it's not too tight. It's field spread of 16 seconds, well 1.8 if you exclude J. John. So
yeah, do you think the drivers are fueled up for more than one lap?
I mean, I did see on board at the start that he had 6 laps of fuel in, and he's down now to 4, so he's definitely good for a few laps in these conditions.
You got better eyesight than I. His ads goes into P3 of a 1:25.6, and it's just Savoia who hasn't set a lap yet in the Haas as he's coming through Sector 1 now. And it's a 24.2 for Sector 1.
Down through Toro Vip. Does he get some nice clean traction on the exit? A bit of a slide, but no. Oh no, I was going to say nothing awful, but that's a massive slide.
There's a famous catchphrase coming. And he's right round, baby, right round, and you can't park air, Savoia.
Got to be careful of the Red Bull coming up behind of Ads, who's on an invalidated lap time. He's got his teammate John behind him, as I've seen someone mocking me saying J. John. Thanks, Crispy.
There's a Placky coming around the final corner. He is 9/10 up through Sector 2, and his back end wanted to go for a walk there, and he goes into P4, so drivers finding time all over the place.
Got John about 2 seconds up on his lap time. He's looking to slot into about P6 on this one. But there's
Milk's coming again.
Find.
Oh, okay.
Just
must have been on a
cool down.
Must have been. Track conditions deteriorating a little bit, I would say.
I mean, the rain I think looks light. I'll keep an eye on the rain as John slots into P9 there. And Luca comes alongside with a 51.2, go-to lap from the QBR Esports founder and owner. Nice.
Yeah, he's really setting an example there. As I'm on board
John
with
B goes
Nath.
P2. Just about 3 tenths off of Moo Moo Milk. Got Nath about to come across the line. He's invalidated on the exit of turn 14.
Just on the outside. Star in the Alpine, 1:25 dead. So we could see drivers in the 24s. I reckon could see drivers in the 24s very, very quickly. And Ronner is right round, baby, right round. All the practice in the world, but you can't practice for that Mercedes lawnmower, and you just can't park air, sir. And that's a free invalidation as well.
Best Valtteri Bottas impression coming out from Ron Ha there. Impression, not present. Jesus, impression. It's been a long day. Anyway.
It is.
Got John on yet
indeed.
another lap down into Sagres' penultimate corner, turn 14. And let's see where this will put him. He's actually nearly out of fuel. Is he going to finish this lap? I don't know. Yes, he is. He's going to come across the line now. He's set at 1 minute 25.1. That's up into P2 for John. Just over a tenth and a half shy of Star. But setting the benchmark for FRA and certainly the rest of the QBR drivers.
Good evening, Griffiths F1 in the chat, and everyone else. The chat is absolutely booming here. And
Toby with the commentary mark. I'm not sure if we can take that. Oh, he's saying it's legendary. Right, okay.
I wouldn't expect anything different to be said. To be fair, what a team in the com spots tonight. We got class on the track. We got class off the track. We've got class all over this stream chat. NRX crowding just sneaking in. Good evening. And in terms of the channel, we are only 8 away from 400. So if you haven't pressed that follow button, let's get to 400 this stream. Let's set a target.
Oh, it's going to be difficult, but let's see how it goes. And a lot of the viewers are returning viewers, given that BFE is such a large tournament. But it shouldn't be awful.
No, 36 lads in the chat. We've just gained 2 followers. So 394 now, 6 away.
And we've got Sanchez about a tenth and a half up, coming down into Samsung turn 8. Tricky corner in the dry. Bit easier in the wet with the slower speeds. And takes that quite well.
IXR Rain, this commentary is giving me AIDS. Whoa.
Rain, be quiet or you're out of EQR. Right.
Yeah. So Sanchez is 3 tenths up. Going into sector 2. 3 even.
Yeah, down towards the descending corner of Sagres. And there's going to be some sort of Portuguese-speaking person in the chat getting mad at me for that pronunciation. I don't care. I speak German, not Spanish. Anyway.
Oh, nice.
And Sanchez, he's going to come across the line now. Does he improve? Yes, he does. 25.2 up into P4. It's a 1, 3, 4, 6, and 11 and 12 for QBR so far. I'd say the ascendancy, but there's more FRAs in the top 10 than there are QBRs.
A lot of hate for Rain after that comment against us. We're not having that. Adds half a second up for FRA in the Red Bull, and they've switched back in the recent update from the white car back to the standard livery, and that is a 124.7, and that is absolutely beautiful.
Improvement from Ads there.
So he's found 3 temps in sector 3. If we could have some Fs for IXR Rain in the chat, that'd be appreciated. Moo Moo Milk just too early on the throttle, and the back end just wants to get away.
I'll just spam the EQR logo in the chat, because why not?
All I hear from the commentary is you can't park there, sir. Well, you can.
Rain, it's a bit of serious and it's a bit of memes. That's what makes it class commentary. I'm here for the corner names. Rose is here for the memes. That's all it is.
So Moo Moo Milk's 5/100ths of a second down. You see Sanchez just on the outside, just getting out of the way nicely, and he's just coming down into Sagres. Apologies to any Portuguese in the chat. In the turn 15, which is called Galp.
Yep.
I'll go with that. We'll go with Galp.
That is Galp.
Up over the hill. Moo Moo Milk doesn't improve at all, so he stays in P4.
Rose with the memory of a god there. But we have Nath coming out of Todovip. I'll just check if he's up or down. I didn't quite catch it. He is 2 tenths down, but can he improve in the middle sector? Let's find out.
I'm on board with Mr. Ron Ha, and he has another spin.
Thomas really struggling this session then.
He has a spin coming out of turn 4. He is struggling in the wet, is O'Ronnie.
as Nath is heading into turn 13 now. I'm going to double check again if he's green. He's actually matched his middle sector, but I assume he's still about 2 tenths down. He's charged up the battery. He's going to go again. 2 minutes 50 left in the session. Hopefully that's in sync, because sometimes it isn't. I need to dive into the pit lane to get some fresh tyres.
So Ron Ha's on the charge here. He's 7/10 of a second up going into sector 3. So even with that back end out, he is going into the low 25s, and he'll be looking to make a little bit of time through turns 14 and 15 as he rounds 15. Slight lift.
There.
He holds it in 6th.
Out
and this
onto
should
the
make
line,
him a bit of time.
25-1 from the FRA Esports F1 captain. Obviously, we saw him win an SRC around here on Wednesday, but that's very different conditions to these qualifying conditions where he got pole in the dry. Let's see what he can do in the dry, hopefully dry race. I don't know if it is dry or not. Anyone in the chat, if you have any confirmation, do let us know. As John B is heading through Sagres, no idea if he's up or not. I guess I'll have a look before he goes across the line. He is up by about 3 tenths now. That's going to cross the line. Oh, he's invalidated it on the exit of Sagres. Lovely.
Choco's found 2 temps. He's up into P10. Placky's invalidated. Savoia is invalidated. John B is invalidated.
A lot of invalidations going on the circuit. Choco 7 3/4 tenths up out of sector 1 down to Totter Vip. Heading up now into turns 6 and 7. Without kink of 6, obviously. And down into in the wet 5th corner gear. And into the tricky Samsung. Ever tricky. But it's looking like a decent lap so far from Choco. We've got a yellow flag for one of the AlphaTauri slowing down to leave some space between him and his teammate. As now through the double right-hander of Portimao, and he's invalidated the lap on the apex. A strange invalidation, but an invalidation nonetheless from Choco there.
I'm back on board with your favourite driver, John 79. And he's only a 10th up. Ronar's gone into P2 of a 24-7.
Missed that one.
So it's it's an FRA 1-2 as it stands
3
right
as
now.
well.
Yeah, so John 79 goes in for 124.9. Times are starting to tumble.
Please don't do this.
Choco must be using lines, says someone in the chat. So we'll go on board with Star, who currently sits in P4 of a 25 dead. And
down to Lagos. Obviously meaning lake.
Himself.
Looks like there's a lake on the apex. So...
Indeed.
Close to the track limit there for Star. 500s down as he heads into Toller Vip. Turn 5, of course, sharp hairpin. Key for overtaking the dry, maybe in the wet as well, but a bit harder with the lockups in the wet. Down into turn 7 now. And I'm going to say it again, the tricky Samsung. Clipping that apex very nicely, no slide on the exit. Wow, a bit of one. Catched it very nicely though. Heading down through Craig Jones and into Portimao. It's been a decent lap so far from Star. Let's see if he's up out of the sector 2 split. He's 200s up. He's found 700 since he entered turn 5. A pretty decent run through 13. They're down towards Sagres now. The ever descending corner, it feels like. Slightly off camber. Clips the apex very nicely. Gets good traction as well. Through Galp. Does he improve? Oh, very close to being flat out through there. As he comes across the line, what's he going to set? It's going to be a 25-0. He missed out on improving by 7 milliseconds. A shock across the line to improve to P5. Got John B through Sagres into Galp. Massive lift there. I'm messing up all the words.
Naif. 5 half a second found up into...
Same for John B.
Provisional P4, but then drops to P5 with that lap from John B. So it's an FRA 1-4 as it stands. Next will be Placky, who's 4 tenths up as well.
It's got Moo Milk, 3 tenths up through the middle sector. And...
Oh, Placky just dropped to about 70% throttle.
Also got Sanchez 2.5 tenths up. So the AlphaTauri is looking to jump up the order here. As through Sagres, Moo Milk goes. A lot of
Ads
M's.
is just slightly up, and he's tried to keep it planted through turn 15, and he's right round, baby, right round.
As Milk
Ron
comes across the line,
Haras.
3/10 improvement up into P2 onto the front row for QBR. Sanchez left now, coming across the line, and he's up into P4 for QBR. And it's just Ads left, and that's your grids.
Ads was he tried to keep it planted through 15, and the back end just got away from him, and we had a good Mazepin impression, bit of Spinella. So just to recap, it is FRA Ads with a 124.7.
Top 5 separated by
Bull.
half a tenth. Jesus
It's
Christ.
so tight. And even further down, there's a 10th there between 9th and 6th, so it's very, very even.
And obviously, Luca getting unfortunate with invalidations throughout the session.
Luca's had one to... Savoia's had one to forget there, but he will bring it back in the race. So
Hopefully it's dry.
Yeah, we'll just go into the intermission screen. They can still hear us, so... 50, we're up to 50 in the chat. We love that, and we are 5 away from 400. So if there's 5 of you in the chat who haven't pressed that follow button, let's get to 400. Come on.
I mean, if you follow the account, you're going to miss out on some class racing. We're coming up to the semi-finals very quickly, and obviously round 3 of the knockouts in Japan.
James, here we go. James Barr. Why were you calling me James Blunt in commentary on the 5v5v5? The name stuck. I read it in the chat, and I just stuck, and I just used that opportunity to bring out some one-liners.
James Blunt, isn't that some sort of artist? I swear I recognise that name.
Yeah, he was a singer. So we were using some little one-liners from a couple of his songs to describe some driving, but it was a
confirmation
funny
from
race.
BTX. We will be readying up in 2 minutes' time at 8:26 Greenwich Mean Time. So not long for lights out. It is bone dry out there. No threat of rain by the looks of things. I can't even see a cloud in the sky. I can see a bit of a cloud in the sky, but not too much. So nice weather for this race today. And we've already seen through turn 4 Tom's with a few spins, and I noted down, look out for spins. Will we see some more as we head into the Grand Prix here today? Andros Townsend for Chris Towns.
Yeah, we did have that one was actually selected by Gaffer Brett, that Andros Townsend. So we'll credit to the famous decorous Brett Normans for that Andros Townsend one. Fair Cheese in the chat. DCRS Halloween Rapid saying that decorous versus PSR is currently the fixture of the tournament so far, and I would say that was one that got the people racing. Discord chats were flowing during that one.
Well, while we're here, might as well remind you that tomorrow, lower bracket, TRT versus SSR, FG and ABE in the multiplayer cars, commentated by myself and Stabby, I believe over on my personal Twitch. So don't forget to check that one out tomorrow. There will be an announcement in the BFE server and over on Twitter. But yeah, interesting race come tomorrow as well for the lower bracket Donnies. But we got this race to look forward to now. About half a minute until we get going. Rose, who do you think's coming out on top?
Well, it looked like it was going to be a bit of an FRA domination in quali, but Moo Milk and Sanchez just really putting the stamp on. So it's going to be nice and even. I think it's too close to call, and I think you looking towards the likes of Ron Har, Placky, Moo Milk and Star to who can make the advantage early on. Is dry as well, so they will all be on fresh tyres. So are we going to see some strategy calls, some undercuts and stuff to really gain the advantage? And I think when it's this tight, these little bits of strategy calls really come into play. So it's going to be one hell of a race. There's no two ways about that.
One last reminder of the grid. We've got Ads on pole, followed by Moo Milk, Ronha, Sanchez, John, the other John, Nath, Star, Choco, Placky, and then Raptor and Luca round off the grid. As we're going to get going any second now. It is 26 past 8 Greenwich Mean Time. So we should be getting going very shortly. as we've got 15 seconds until lights out. I'll let you take that, Rose.
A lot of support for us in the chat tonight. We love to see the support coming in for the commentators. It's not all about the racing. It's about us giving up our nights as well to entertain the masses. And it's 5 lights straight away. No formation lap in BFE. And we are away for the start.
Feels nice having no delay, but it's a good start from Ads. He's got Mumu Mug all the way on the back of him. Raptors had a shocking start. Everyone looks to be on the mediums bar a few. Actually, no, everyone is on the medium, sorry. As Ronhar and Sanchez getting very feisty. Sanchez is up into P3 as we head through turn 4. They're side by side, keeping it within track limits.
They are.
Coming down towards Tonovip. Look out for a dive bomb from either of the drivers. Or maybe even a switchback. As there's a bit of contact and a lockup. And John Sickia's nose in. But nothing coming in for him.
He tried to go around the outside there, Sanchez, and almost lost out to John. But Nath and Placky, the 2 drivers who have had the worst starts. Nath down into 9th now, and Placky finds himself at the back of the grid. And as rightly said by yourself, every driver has gone onto the medium compounded tyre. So that's an interesting call straight away, Aid.
Yeah, an interesting thing to note as well. We had Mumu going wide on the entry in towards Samsung. So that might have been a warning, but he's still on the back of Ads. Top 3 separated by just 9/10 so far. And it's going to be a spicy race. Everyone within the DRS train. So let's hope that doesn't break up anytime soon so we get some nice little action. Speaking of, we've got Star on the back of John B. Who's also on the back of Jed, as I've been told his name is in the chat. I don't know. Apparently his name is Jed or his name is John. I don't know. But we'll go with something. But
so it's still FRA Ads out in front as we start lap 2. And Mumu Milk is keeping him honest, very honest. But he just runs wide there on the uphill turn 4 with no name, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And Ronahar is down in P3. So the gaps are just starting to form as we see DRS to aid some overtakes at the end of this lap. So we'll see who's going to be making the moves there.
And already an update on warnings. Luca has 2 for exceeding track limits, as does Mumu. He has 1 from lap 1. So most drivers keeping it very clean so far. I was right about Mumu getting a warning on the entrance of Samsung. And confirmation in the chat from LMG that Mr. 79's name is Jed. So thank you, LMG. Absolute goat. As everyone's still within the DRS frame, so we're all on the same time. Choco getting close to
contact.
Star.
Yeah, there was contact there. I'm on board with Choco right now as you go through turn 15, and he just got caught out maybe by a bit of overbraking by Star, or maybe he was just a bit too eager on the front.
Bit of DRS
there was
though,
a bit of
down
contact.
the main straight. But both drivers staying in position.
This is going to be interesting because of the clean start. Every driver is in DRS of each other, so it's going to be a 12-car DRS train.
This feels like SRC all over again. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that was a good race.
But yeah, everyone just staying in position. No dive bombs heading down in towards Torovip. But Luca did get very close. He's now ghosted, and he's unghosted again. But he got very close to Choco there. As we head into Samsung. No spins yet so far through here. But
no, the biggest battle on track was Raptor and Placky. Placky looking obviously after that poor start on a big recovery drive. And him and Raptor just starting to fall off the back of the grid. But we'll switch very, very quickly on to Mumu Milk and see if he can make some DRS advantage as we go around Sagres into turn 15 now. And this could be a lead change for the lead.
Could possibly be. So head down the main straight down towards Primera. DRS for Mumu Milk. He's going to pull alongside and in front in towards turn 1. Ads not defending too harshly, just saving race time. We head down into Lagos.
Oh, Placky's just made one hell of a move down the back on Raptor as well. Just absolutely sent him to the shops and back into turn 1.
Has broken the DRS train though for those two, so bit catching up for Placky to do here. But it shouldn't be too difficult with everyone in each other's dirty air. Heading into the middle sector. Will we see any spins or extensions through Samsung? This is definitely one of my favourite corners to talk about, given it's so challenging. As we have a spin for Choco. He spun it out of Samsung. And the GI train is now broken at P7. And Choco's out into P11 in front of Supply Raptor and behind Placky.
An unfortunate moment, and after such a clean start, Choco just losing the back end, and he's unfortunate there. But in the middle now, we see Star just falling off the back of John B. So we do have the DRS train broken.
Might see Thomas trying to get past Ads here. Yeah, Ads is not going to make this difficult. He's left the DRS shut. Thomas is going to go in front and try and catch up and pass Moo Moo Milk. As we head through turn 1, down in towards turn 3 at Lagos. Slow corner. First gear for Ron Har there, interestingly. Getting that extra rotation through the DRS section up through turn 4. No spin, unlike in quali.
No, and the dry conditions obviously come into Ronnie quite a lot. And I just like to take this moment to welcome Stabby into the chat, obviously an icon across many leagues, servers, esports teams alike. So good evening, Stabby. Welcome to the stream, my man.
Yeah, and obviously, like I said in the intermission, me and Stabby on another iconic commentary duo tomorrow. So
that will be one to check in on for sure. I'm not sure what I'm doing this week yet. I haven't released my schedule. I will do after this race. Still a couple of bits and pieces to tie up for the week.
Indeed. So, heading on to this lap. Raptor's been off and got a 10-second time penalty in the middle sector.
Yeah, he's just come. It looks like he's just come a Roy Cropper there down into turn 13, and I've seen it a couple of times now. If you get it wrong, like he's just. If you get it wrong, like he's just done there, you get that 10-second time penalty.
Yeah.
SLRJ, good evening to you as well, mate.
And Star, another note, has brought the DRS train back into fruition as Thomas and Moo Moo Milk side by side out of Todd Vip. It's still very close. Bit of rear end for Ron Har, but they're still side by side coming down into turn number 7 now. Moo Moo Milk backs out of it. Bit of rear end again for Thomas, but he stays in front. And good little scrap between these two there.
He's done very well to hold it round the outside there. He's got to be very brave, and he was wagging that back end really at Moo Moo Milk, but he had the right position for Moo Moo Milk not to retake the lead. So Ronnie up to P1 with a very brave move under DRS into Tora Vip. So a good move, and FRA now lead the way.
Yeah, 1, 3, 5, 6, and 10 for FRA. The rest filled up by QBR and Placky. I say and Placky, so he's not in the points. We've got Ads draining. He's down to 13% ERS. He's on the back of Moo Moo Milk. Will he look up into turn 1? No, he won't. He's running out of ERS. Moo Moo Milk with 41 compared to Ads' 11. As we head through Lagos now.
Look how close that train is from Jed up. Everyone, one moment here, and you could find yourself down in 6th or 7th.
Oh,
quite easily. Indeed, yeah. As Ronard just runs wide into that Tora Vip again. He's favouring that outside line into that turn, and it's obviously working for him. He still managed to keep Moo Moo Milk behind.
Yeah. Good driving from everyone so far in this race. Unfortunate bits of luck. Poor luck for Placky and Supply Raptor themselves. As we've got Nathan and Lucas swapping positions in towards Portimao. Turn number 12, 10 and 11. So, tactical swap there, I presume. Given no offence to Luca, Nath is the quicker driver.
He is indeed, and straight away, Luca's got to get his defensive head on because he has got a raging Choco behind him. As Ronnie has extended that gap out to 7 tenths, and that should be enough to see him clear for another lap in the lead.
As Nath gets fast lap.
That's a good time, Nath, 1:19.0, and obviously that maybe just that little bit of fresh air, that 1 second gap he's got to Star.
Yeah, Willie
It's,
will
really
be in
come
the
to him.
DRS coming out of Lagos, given the detection point is right here. He's missed out by 2/10 on the dot, basically. But he won't be long before he's in that little, well, in the DRS train again. Dragging Luca
Indeed.
and Choco along with him. And yeah, he's basically in it now.
This is the first time I've seen a wet to dry quality to race. So strategy wise, then, is it a one stop? Are they going medium to softs?
I believe so.
So
very much possible.
what lap's the window? When does the window open for the medium boys? 21, 22?
I think it's going to be between a risky 18 and a safe 22. Yeah, risky as in soft tyre wear. Risky medium tyre wear is 22.
There is a bit of a debate going on in the chat now about assists and no assists, and it's one that follows everyone around. Obviously, the famous ABS United are around, and there's people who are non-assist United as well. So a bit of debate going on in the chat. Friendly debate, decorous mates at the heart of it. Feta cheese in there as well. So lively on the track and off the track as we speak.
But Moo Milk has closed up to Ronha here. He does have about half the ERS, give or take a few percent. But it's all very close up and down the field. And Sanchez, props Sanchez, 80% ERS. Whilst chinging this train. And he's got the most in the field right now.
I'm just watching Nath. He's just starting to reel Star in a little bit.
Yeah, definitely pushing to get the DRS train back going. But
yeah, I wonder
if Luca's unlucky, well, he has been unlucky. They're going to get dropped out of the DRS coming through the penultimate corner at Sagres as Lucid joins back for engineering. But there's not going to be any moves on this main straight, I don't believe. Oh no, there is! Choco coming up against Luca.
Oh
round
yeah,
the outside into towards turn one. A little bit of contact. Luca's still got his nose in, but Choco makes it around the outside. And it's a clean move there from Choco. Up into P9. But he's lost the DRS to Nath, so he's going to have to do a little bit of work to get that back.
It can be dangerous at turn one. We did see in real life F1, didn't we? Was it in the race or in practice, Lando Norris?
And Lance
was it Lando
Stroll.
Norris?
I think Lando and Stroll in the race, yeah. Lance was very much a victim to killing people there.
Yeah, no, good evening to AMS Till, good evening to FRA Lurch, who I just see joined in the chat. We're now 4 away, Aid, from the big 400, so we're nearly there. 400 follows is still achievable on lap 10. We've got 23 laps to go, and obviously the team manager interviews after the race, so plenty of time to get that 400 follows in this evening.
Yeah, for sure. As Thomas has nearly broken the DRS of Moo Milk, yet he still hasn't used DRS. And Moo Moo's been draining his, basically, to keep within the DRS. So, as soon as Moo Moo runs out of ERS, this is Thomas's race to walk away with. His Choco's fast lap on 1 minute 18.917 on lap number 10.
Team orders at QBR. Nath's been allowed to go by Star up in the P7, and I just noticed that Choco's finally broke the defensive wall of Luca, and he's up in the P9. Set the fastest lap as well, so Choco's on the charge. And that train still P1 to P6, the train is still there, so it could come down to undercuts in a minute. Yeah, Nath will be there. Nath will be there in a couple of laps, because I'm sure 1 or 2, when you got a train this big, they'll be holding each other up.
Yeah, he's basically already the DRS coming out of Samsung. Down into
the
Craig
debate
Jones.
Still goes on. And latest update, 399. 1 away.
We're getting there.
Wouldn't it be good to set history, Aid?
For sure. It would be.
Who's going to be 400? Who's going to be number 400 on the follows? Come on.
I know exactly who it is. Let me get there.
Oh, 398. Someone's unfollowed.
Oh, class. Class.
So Sanchez in the AlphaTauri gets past ads up into P3. So it's AlphaTauri 2 and 3 for QBR. They did so well in qualifying and they're backing it up with the race pace. And Shuey, I'd just like to... I picked up on a message earlier from you, and unfortunately, you're still my idol. So the love is still there, my friend. As Raptor joins... Well, he gets another penalty, and he's racking them up down the end. That's 13 seconds now. In his race, I would say, it is just about done.
Yeah. I mean, Supply not having the best of times. Down in last. 13 seconds behind the nearest car, with plenty of penalties to boot. 13 seconds to be precise. And Sanchez has dropped off the back of Moo Mill. Wow, that's a new one. Moo. But yeah.
Yeah. So the unfollow.
Oh, Choco's out.
Oh, hello.
Choco's out of the race. Coming out of turn number 13. I believe that's not going to be a safety car. Which is a bit odd. Perhaps losing the rear end there. But
yeah,
Choco looks to have crashed into someone.
He was on the track. He was on the track.
So he crashed into someone.
Very
That's a
strange
weird
position.
place to be.
Let's have a look. If he had terminal damage or not. Let's have a look. Yeah, terminal damage. So it's a bit of a strange position to be on the track.
Oh, he hit Star by the looks of things. I just saw him there. That is interesting.
Yeah, because Nath has got past Star. Yeah, Nath has got past Star up into P7. So
Nath was already in front, but there's a 4-second gap now, so there must have been a massive incident there. Hopefully, I do find a clip of that. Oh, so Star went into. So Star's wheel died. He went, so ended up in AI, and the AI gave Choco damage and basically killed him.
Nice that you can pick that up so quickly.
Yeah, just had a quick peek at BFE General because I knew it would be there. Yeah, Lucy's saying wasn't Star's fault, wasn't Choco's fault either, and Lucy's saying Star couldn't do much about the cable of his wheel. So a hardware issue there for Star, causing Choco's race to end early. Speaking of racing, here comes Jed around the outside of turn 1 on Sanchez, making that a very simple move. Up into P3 for FRA.
And breaking that AlphaTauri wall there, Luca gets a penalty. And unfortunately, it looks like the Unfollow Club have joined this stream because we're back down to 393 now.
Oh, rah.
But we're up to 68 viewers, so good evening and welcome to all the new viewers in the chat. We did have a wet quali just to recap. FRA ads taking pole position.
Top 500s.
After a very clean start, Ron Haar is pretty much, I think, not for the early part, but once he got out in front, he is controlling this race now, but he is being kept very, very honest by Moo Moo Milk. The game should get a pen. Lots of wheel issues since this game's come out, Aiden.
Yeah,
I've had a couple.
I mean, I've not experienced it because the Series X doesn't seem to get them. Weird flex, but okay. But a lot of issues have been persisting. I believe Jed just set the fastest lap, did he? Yes, he did, an 18.61. The same lap he got past Sanchez.
Yeah. And Nath is on the back of this train now. He is absolutely motoring. And I've just been asked to check the warnings out in front, so I'll do that now. Ronnie with no warnings. Moo Moo Milk has 2. Jed and 0. So Moo Moo Milk 1 warning away from a penalty, which could have massive implications for the end of the race with how close this
and Sanchez,
is.
speaking
talking of penalties. Curse of the Commentator strikes once again.
Oh, Rose.
Feta cheese. As a Logitech user myself, my wheel sucks. Yeah, I'm a G920 user, and I have had some issues, but it seems to be alright. I don't obviously race as much now because I'm on comms at least 6 times a week at the moment. I don't get time to race, but I'll try it.
Few open lobbies here and there
at some point. Yeah, well, I've got the old community Discord up now, so I'll start chucking out some flappers, I expect, here and there.
Yeah, for sure. As not much is happening, I can confirm.
No. I can't believe that we were on 399, and then everyone started unfollowing. That is poor from whoever unfollowed.
Yeah.
Can I get a oh yeah from Formula Andrew 14? It's good to see. Good to see the activity in the chat this evening.
And Stabby race showing Andrew. Love to see it. Twitch chat active as ever.
World number one. World number one. Gerwin Price wins at darts as well. Beat Peter Wright 16-8.
Shush.
So Sanchez is right on the back of FRA Jed, who hasn't got DRS from the car in front, so he's half a second. He's used all of his battery. We could see a late lunge into turn one from Sanchez, will we? No, not this time. Nath has reeled the gap into 4 temps as well on ads.
Yeah, and just a quick mention, Jed has lost a lot of time to Mumu. He's now 2 seconds behind. And he's got Sanchez right at his rear end still as they head through Toda Vip. But yeah, not much going on apart from a DRS train, as it has been the case basically the whole race. It's not the 12-man DRS train we had on lap 3, but there is a DRS train nonetheless.
And I think Star's struggling with some damage. Maybe, I don't know what the damage settings are in this lobby. Maybe side pod, maybe rear wing or something. I don't know. But
he shouldn't have
dropped off
either of those because it's on double reduced. And I believe standard is where those bodywork damages come into fruition. So maybe he's got a bit of end play damage.
He's dropped off 5.3 seconds. So he's lost a second and a half in the last few laps, and that's put him right into the clutches of Placky.
Speaking of clutches, here comes Sanchez on Jed down the main straight, heading down towards Primera. He's just going to move to the outside, Jed out of ERS, and it's a simple move for Sanchez. Getting past Jed, up into P3 once again. As Mumu and Ronha ever close. And Ronha's down to 21% ERS now, so they're pretty much even, Mumu and Ronha. As they come into Toda Vip.
They both drove a solid race, and they're keeping each other very honest. And you know, this obviously we spoke about it pre-race, and is how powerful is the undercut at Portimao? How, you know, is that something that maybe something that's going through the guys, the FRA guys who sit 4th, 5th, and 6th? Could they pull an undercut on Sanchez potentially? Who knows?
I'm not fortunate enough to have done a league race or a social race around here yet, so I couldn't possibly tell you. But I believe we're entering the pit window now.
He's getting closer again, Moo Milk. Is it time now? Is it hammer time? 3 temps is enough to retake a lead up and over here.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it happen between Sanchez and Jed, and now we're going to see it between the other AlphaTauri and Thomas Ronha for the lead of the race. Mumu up into P1 as they head into Primera, turn 1. And that's a simple move there for Mumu.
And there we go. Someone was listening. There's John B's into the pits on the soft tyre, so potential undercut, and he's really going to have to put the outlap of his life in to make his stick as Star and Savoia come into the pits as well.
Oh, and that's Ronha diving it down into Toda Vip. He makes a stick, bit of contact side by side, coming up in towards turn 6 and 7 now. Into turn 7. No one backing out. Into Samsung. This is going to be tricky to go side by side, and Thomas backs out. Goes for the switchback.
But he's not quite made it.
But he's going to go down the inside of Craig Jones in towards Portimao now. Potential for a switchback or a dive bomb. But nothing happening.
Great battling for the lead. Moo Milk and Ron are being very respectful to each other. There was a little bit of wheel banging going on, but Ronhard likes Torovip. We've seen him go round the outside to take the lead, and now he's gone on the inside as well. So turn 5 for Ronnie is the turn. And there's a load of more and yes and come on and Ronhoff. Oh no, that is crucial. 2 FRA 5-second penalties for speeding in the pit lane, and that, when you're a driver of the caliber of Ronhart, is not a good idea. It's a drop in stand. You don't expect that from people like Ronhart.
Yeah, certainly not. So it's gonna be an uphill battle now. She exits the pits. About 23 seconds behind.
Savoia gets a 3-second time penalty, and your headset's clicking in and out. Nath gets a penalty as well. So the penalties are coming in thick and fast now. As 2 teammates, Jed and John, side by side out of turn 4. You don't want to be slowing each other down, lads, because there's a certain Nath 2.5 seconds back who will take advantage of you. So Ronar is the net leader of the race. We'll just have a look how far he is off the leader. So he's 22.4 seconds off Moo Milk, who you would think would retaliate. And there he goes into the pit. So Ronhard just coming up to Sagres. Is the undercut pulled a rank here? All 4 of the top 4 in the pits now, and unfortunately Moo Milk is just coming out of the box. Here comes Ronhard up the pit straight, and he's going to retake a lead, I believe. It's going to be very, very tight. But yeah, he makes the undercut stick, and he's back into P1. We've just lost Aiden temporarily. Star puts in the quickest lap of the race so far, and Ronhard 19 seconds off Sanchez, and that was a very, very good opening lap. And we'll try and get Aid back very quickly. No problemo. As adds in, here goes Nath round the outside into Torovip. Late on the brakes, there's contact. Nath's just forced wide. There's a yellow flag in sector 1 for his teammate Savoia. Oh, and there's contact. And Nath's just got to back it out as these drivers are trying to get. Oh, Nath almost loses the back end. And Nath's going to have to try again. So Sanchez into the box, and the overcut doesn't look like it's going to work, and he's going to find himself around about P5 or 6, I'd say, maybe a little bit further down than that. So we'll see if the overcut, obviously he had to wait a lap later than Moo Milk because of the double stack. He didn't want to get caught behind that, as Ronnie sets the fastest lap of the race at the right time and retakes the lead. And he's got a quite comfortable gap now to Moo Milk in P2. Good evening to Sink Harvey and Surfy in the chat. And we're still 4 away from 400. Please don't unfollow, I beg. No problem. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully we get to hook up again soon, my man. Take it steady. And unfortunately, you're stuck with me now for the last 11 laps. Heatwave, good evening to you in the chat as well, as we're on board with the Haas of Nath. Showing some decent race pace on the mediums. What's he got on the softs? But Big Ronnie's absolutely flying out in front, and he will be joining us at the end of the race in the box. along with QBR Josh, I believe, for some team manager interviews, which is something that I'm definitely trying to introduce into the streams. AMS Till, unfortunately, mate, that's poor from you. If you don't like the comms, don't tune in the channel. There's Nave still on the back of ads, looking for that P6. The FRA boys are in the hunt against Moo Moo Milk as well, both half a second. Remember, we saw them get very, very close out of turn 4 previously, and the McLaren of John B did get pushed wide, but they've managed to drag each other around now, and they're being... FRA ads gets a time penalty. A driver currently running in P6, and I think it's only right that we should go over the penalty. So it's 5 seconds for Ron Har, 5 seconds for Jed, both in the pit lane infringements. Sanchez adds and Ney 3 seconds apiece. Savoia gets 6 seconds, and Supply Raptor, remember that 10-second penalty for spinning and going over the corner, which is a quite popular occurrence on this track, and then he gets a 3 seconds, so he's down on 13 seconds and 10 laps to go here at Portimao. And Nath still can't get past. So that's the closest battles on track between Nath and Ads, and also the John, Jed and Moo Moo Milk in 2, 3 and 4. Ronnie's got to pull 2.5 seconds, but remember, Moo Moo Milk is on that 2 warnings. So if he gets 1 more warning, Ronhar's going to be clear out in front. 66 viewers. Good evening, Munjaclaw. Jackster in the chat again with a bit of love for myself. Good evening, Sunshine. Hope you well. How's your racing gone recently? His ads! Oh, he's lost the back end. And that's... Oh, no! There's contact. That could have been absolute carnage, but how ads has saved that, and Nate's done well to avoid a clatter in there, and he's up into P6. Ads the back end just gone for a little bit of a walk. Let's go, says Feta Cheese. If anyone's got a live score, that would be perfect. I don't have time to work it out and add it up. So if anyone's got the live scores, drop them in the chat now as we go on to a lap 26 from 33 live at Portimao. Placky in P9. Bit of a strange race for Placky. Had a poor start, found himself in P12, and then AMS manager in the chat. Closer than I thought. No, we all thought it was going to be a close race. Ronnie, 3 seconds the gap out in front, and he's got to pull another 2 seconds in 7 laps, 8 laps even, to really pull clear. As James Blunt drops the Supermax in. He won Supermax today, was he, mate? Super Lewis the GOAT. Number 8's coming home, unfortunately, and that will start another debate in the chat, no doubt, as Nath goes on the hunt now of his teammate Sanchez. And he's drove a good race, Nath. What's up, Shuey? Shuey Goat? The chat is running quickly, and it's only on my iPad next to me. Okay, I'll put the penalties on for you, Shuey Goat. Sorry, mate. I've only got a little box on the iPad. I'm running the chat off the iPad, and I know I'm not trying to start a war. Obviously, I'm a big Lewis fan. I know there's a lot of Max fans, and we did see a big debate in the Rose community server earlier, and I did drop in the BFE and see a little cheeky one going on over there as well. Everyone has their own opinions, but number 8 is coming home, unfortunately. Ron Harjackster and Jed in P3, 5-second time penalties for speeding in the pit lane. And Ronnie's on the charge now. Half a second found in the last lap. Man, less of that, please. And still Jed and John can't get anywhere near Moo Moo Milk, who's absolutely hammering his battery trying to close that gap. 1.5 second buffer he's got to win the race. AMS manager is actually 75. Ala wins in the chat. The last time Hamilton had a trouble with that magic button was at Baku, wasn't it? And he just lost himself out. If Ronnie managed to pull this 5-second gap, it will be an absolutely tremendous effort. He's hammering the battery also. He's down on 13%. 48-47 to QBR as it stands. Live update from Shuey there. So it's going to be... Is there points for fastest lap? That'd be a good one to find out. So the fastest lap is currently with FRA, and it's FRA Jed with a 17.5. So it could be a draw if there's a point for fastest lap. That's Jed. John B's having an awful couple of laps. That gap now 1.4 seconds. Fairley is 75 years old. Oh dear. The no assist god. It's magic, you know, says James Blunt in the chat. Jaffa's in. Good evening, Jaffa. How are you, mate? So one place could decide this race. So the last overtake we saw was Nath on ad. So was that enough to win the race for QBR? But whatever happens, it's been 28 laps of absolute limbs. Yeah, it's been a very, very good race to commentate over for sure. This Ron R bloke ain't too bad. No, he's doing alright anyhow, Ronnie. First time I've commentated over one of the higher profile drivers. And it's really good to see he is in a class of his own. As Nath gets a 3-second time penalty. It's not gonna... .51 FRA. Savoia gets a time penalty down at the end of the grid, so that one's not gonna be relevant. John B's having a nightmare. He's had a really awful lap. Has he burnt his tyres out here? Because he has got TRT, Sanchez and Nath on the back of him now crawling. 4 laps, and this could be, with the scores being 51-48, this could be game changing. This could be it. Jed's got past Moo Moo Milk as well. So Nath and Sanchez need to clear John B. And Moo Moo Milk needs to get back. And this is working in Ronnie's advantage, as you can see. But they've both got 5-second penalties. But at the moment, Jed just needs to get the big block. Oh, see a big twitch coming out of 14 into 15. But he's just done enough to get Ronnie that gap. So it's been a beautiful bit of teamwork from Jed. He's going to lose P2 to Moo Moo Milk on track. But more importantly, he has got Ronnie that gap. 4.7 the gap, so he's just brought it in. It was over 5 seconds before, but he's just brought it in. 3 laps to go for Ronnie to find 3 temps, so I believe he'll do it. But here goes Nath. Are we going to see a... Oh, he squeezes him a little bit, the McLaren at John B. Nath looking for the switchback, is he? Sanchez has already got past him up into P4. Now it's Nath's turn. So it's still evenly poised. One false move from any driver could swing the pendulum into each team. As this is going to be 3 laps of, I imagine there's going to be a few nerves kicking in some engineers, some racers alike. Moo Moo Milk is on the charge. He's brought that gap down to 4.2 seconds. Maybe Ronnie's just pushing a little bit too hard. Maybe a mistake in there somewhere. Maybe just a bit of tyre saving. Maybe a bit of fuel saving. Who knows? And that's it. That's what we didn't want from Moo Moo Milk. There's the penalty. That's a nightmare scenario. He ran a very, very long time on 2 warnings. And he has got the 3rd one, unfortunately. And Ron Hart has got 1 warning. So Ron Hart at the end of lap 31 has a nice little buffer now of 2.7 seconds over Moo Moo Milk. Here goes Jed again on Moo Moo Milk, and is he going to make that lunge into turn 1? Yes, he is in the Red Bull. Oh, there's contact, big contact, which pushes Moo Moo Milk wide, and Jed takes P2. Nave still sat in P6. He's got ads behind him for comfort. It was going so well indeed, but Moo Moo Milk still finds himself in P3. John B might make a couple of moves at the end. He's currently sat in P5. As it just gets a little bit darker. It's not going to obviously too late to bring the rain into play, but you can see Nath pushing all over the back of John B. He needs to make this place. Oh, John has a little snap, and he's going to throw it up the inside into Sagres. Are they going to go side by side into turn 15? No, they're not. But Nath should have the advantage here to make it nice and easy into all over the battery. Both drivers are both very low, but Nath obviously has that DRS advantage as Moo Moo Milk again. Look at, is that a couple of spots of rain I can see? It is. It's raining. Right at the end of the race. One intense final lap. It's only coming down light, but these tyres are going to be on at the end of their life. As you can see, Nath, a lot of, but just coming through Sagres has been Ronha. Not the qualifying he would have wanted at the start, but he made it count towards the end. Yellow flag in Sector 2 for the Haas of Savoia. Ronha comes over the hill to take the win in Portimao. 5-second penalty. Moo Moo Milk comes across the line in P2. Jed in P3, but he's displaced by Sanchez. John B comes home in P5, adds P6, Nath P7. He ran out of fuel. More importantly, Nath coming through Sagres, and that's allowed Ads and Placky to overtake him. Star comes home in P9. Savoia has ran out of fuel. Can Supply Raptor's gone past him as well. Savoia's ran out of fuel. Down into turn 14. An absolute nightmare for QBR at the end. An absolute nightmare. And Savoia's going to crawl across the line. Has he got enough fuel to get up the hill? Thank you, Rapid. Right, we'll try one last time before we get the lads in for the interviews. I need 3 followers to make it 400. Please do it for me now. FRA Ronha, the driver of the day, will look to get the party very, very quickly. And then at the end of the stream, guys, we're going to go off and raid. We're going to go and raid another racing league. Probably go over and raid IFC. $399 ACs. What lap are they on their race? More importantly, raid TSC. Who? Lap are they on? So Ronha leads the race from P3 on the grid. Moo Milk in P2. That late penalty costing him the race win. His teammate Sanchez in P3. And then it's Jed, John, Ads and Placky from FRA. Nathan P8, QBR Star and Supply Raptor 9 and 10. Savoia comes home after running out of fuel on the last lap in P11, and Choco the only DNF from what has been a fantastic race. I'll try and get Ronha in the party. And I believe QBR Josh is the other one coming in. Ronha is in the party. We'll just wait for Josh to come in and then we'll start the interviews. Lap 18. Alright, we'll go over and raid it. We'll go over the interviews this evening. Because I know Mr. Ronha has to disappear quite quickly. Right. Who's ready for some interviews? Is your audio included, Mr. Ronha?
It is.
First time I ever commentated over there, and I couldn't pick a better one to start off. Not the start of qualifying I'm sure you would have wanted, but early on in the race you stamped your mark on it. Lucky you got away with that 5-second penalty. From a team perspective and your own personal perspective, how's that gone for you tonight?
Yeah, I think as it did it all stopped today. There's an incident with don't know exactly what happened, but we'll consider after. Yeah, quality. I don't know. I just think the pace in the rain really seems like the PA goes no. But yeah, I think I was just struggling with a bit of traction out of the hairpins, which was probably a few tendencies starting, but then through the corners, the flowing corners, especially for the I came back. Especially when I go like fast as everyone. But then yeah, the start went perfectly. I think me and Ats driving by. I think it was Moo at the time. And then from there on, it was just a DCRS train to be honest until like 19. Decided to speed in the pits for no reason. The undercut of Moo, which expect to be that big. Like, it wasn't 2 seconds at the end of the gap. I wouldn't expect to extend the gap to 5 seconds. But I think me and Jed working well together as a team, we did a good job and yeah, tuned it up.
It was, and turn 5, Torovip seemed to be the corner that made a couple of decent moves. That first of all, right on the outside, and then you tried the inside line as well. So that turn 5 was your favourite corner,
yeah,
I'd say.
Good corner to take. I think it's the best corner to take apart from turn 1. But yeah, throwing the other side of I think Moo and then turning the inside of him. Yeah, I made some good mistakes today.
All in all, congratulations to yourself. Race win. You got driver of the day as well from the game, and well done to your team on a good performance. Now, over to QBR, who didn't race in here tonight, Josh. Just make sure you're always included. So, from a QBR perspective, very unfortunate to get that point penalty for Moo Moo Milk. Drove a pretty solid race.
Yeah, I mean, the undercut just worked so well for Ronha, and then is it JJ? He just kept me under pressure. Just lost so much time, and he made the mistake and got the penalty, took it away from him. But yeah, just we could do.
And we saw a couple of lads run out of fuel, and Nate will be kicking himself there after he could recover drive. He decided to run out of fuel and let Placky and Ads back through all his own hard work done. But you should, I think, from my perspective, you should be proud of that performance tonight. It was especially Moo Moo Milk and Sanchez and Fataris. They did really, really well. Yeah,
I mean, we knew we had to put in to have a chance of going through. We knew we had to beat FRA by quite a lot of points, so we had nothing to lose. So we did everything we could. But it's FRA at the end of the day, so we got 40 points. It was a good performance, but I just didn't have enough today. But we're still proud of the effort and the performance we put in. So
it's really good. So that concludes the team interviews. Thank you to you both for coming in, and thank you to both FRA and QBR for being on what has been a fantastic race. Peaked at 68 viewers tonight, so thanks to everyone who's made the effort to come on in. We have hit 400 followers for BFE tonight. Big shout out to all the guys and girls at BFE who put these tournaments on, and it's an absolute pleasure commentating. But we're going over to Raid ACs, go over and show some love in there, show some follows around. They are at Australia at 21 for the final 8 laps. I'll be dropping my stream schedule out later on, so keep an eye on Twitter, and I shall catch up with you soon.
It is very